To me, Conan, Leno, it's all the same. It's all jumbled up in one pot, and I don't care, right? But look, this entire experience has made Conan stand out in my mind, and it shows me what a unique person he is, how strong he is, and the fact that he's a man of principle. Which
See, this is where I have to disagree. I don't see Conan O'Brien as being a man of principle simply because he left his job. Am I saying this because I don't like Conan O'Brien? No. No. It's just that I just don't believe people should be supporting a wrong decision. Like, so many people say that he had the raw end of the deal, you know? But if you think about it in layman's terms, just take all the Hollywood out of it, Conan O'Brien was just asked to come in a half an hour later. And because of pride, he said no. Now, that's the same thing people got on Allen Iverson case for. Because when he played for Detroit, he refused to come off the bench because he said he was a starter. And people would say things like, Allen Iverson, there's no I in team. You need to do what's best for the team. Or Allen Iverson, you're a professional. They pay you millions of dollars. You need to do what your job entails for you to do. Now, here's Conan O'Brien. He's getting paid as much money as Allen Iverson, probably more, maybe a little bit less, because he's making, $15 million a year. And his employer says, Conan, we're getting killed in the ratings. Your show is not doing well. David Letterman's show, who is our competitor, has actually gotten more viewers since you've taken over the show. You only have 2.3 million viewers. David Letterman has 4.3 million viewers. He didn't have that when the Tonight Show was hosted by Jay. So that means people are actually not watching your show and going in to watch going in to watch David Letterman, who is our competitor. Now, we took a chance on you 15 years ago and gave you the show when we could have gave it to Dennis Miller, Adam Chandler, David Spade, or the late great Chris Farley, but we believed in you. We took a chance and it paid off. We took another chance on you 15 years earlier, 15 years after that, and it's not paying off right now. So look, we're not going to fire you. We just need you to move your show back a half an hour. We're going to move Jay up to 11:30 so we can capitalize on his popularity and get a whole bunch of viewers. And then your show will come on at 12:05. Conan O'Brien says no. He said Conan O'Brien is the Allen Iverson of talk show hosts. He says no. And he gives some reason about it mess up the integrity of the show. No, you losing to David Letterman messes up the integrity of the show. All they're trying to do is make money. The networks are saying, look, we're thinking about dropping your show altogether. But everybody else gets to blame. NBC gets to blame because, they're bad people for moving the show back half an hour. Nobody applauds them for taking a chance on Conan O'Brien and say, hey, that was a great thing you did. I mean, you took Jay Leno's show away from him and gave it to Conan O'Brien when Jay Leno was number one. Jay Leno gets called the dick because he doesn't get good ratings. But the truth of the matter is NBC took a chance on Jay Leno and put him at 10 o'clock. And it failed. But they didn't do anything wrong. You're supposed to take chances. They found out that Jay Leno will not make the viewings that are required for a 10 o'clock show. He was getting 5.3 million viewers, which is great. If he was hosting Tonight Show, that's perfect. But unfortunately, at 10 o'clock, you need 17 million viewers. So what did NBC find out from trial and error? That a talk show does not work at 10 o'clock. A talk show will not work. So you can't fault them for that. They tried something and it didn't work. Now, all Conan O'Brien has to do is just be a team player. Move your show back a half an hour. It's no big deal. Jay Leno will get his viewers back because remember, Jay Leno was still getting 5.3 million viewers, which is still more than David Letterman and more than Conan O'Brien. He was just getting them at the wrong time. So the networks were thinking about cutting the shows altogether, and NBC is trying to work something out. And as opposed to being a team player with these people who done nurtured you, you came to them and said, look, I'm getting offers at different networks. What can you do for me? They kicked Jay Leno off his show in his prime. And for all the people say Jay Leno just took his show back. If Jay Leno had the power to take his show back, he would have had the power not to give it to Conan O'Brien in the first place. So don't put all of this power in Jay Leno's hands when he done got fired twice. But that's just my opinion. He should have moved it back instead of being so prideful and playing the victim. He's not a victim. You know, that Muslim woman that they were talking about on this show that's going to get whipped 100 times for getting raped, that's a victim. Or the other lady who sat on her 300-pound lady who sat on her boyfriend and smothered him to death and only gets probation, her boyfriend was a victim. But somebody who refuses to go to work because their employer asks them to come in a half an hour later and collects $30 million for it, by no means is a victim. If Allen Iverson was caught a sore, not a team player for not coming off the bench when Detroit needed him to come off the bench, even though he was under a contract. I mean, people talk contracts, but sports players have contracts and they get moved from position to position. Nobody complains about it. And there was nothing in Conan O'Brien's contract, as they explained on this show, that said he had to be on at 11:30. I just don't understand how he gets applauded for not working with his employer, man. And it's nothing against Conan O'Brien, man. I would have loved to see him still have the Tonight Show. I was so happy when he got it because I used to watch Conan O'Brien all the time because I used to always get home late and I used to watch it. If I got home early, then I got to watch Jay Leno, then Conan O'Brien. So it was a good night. I used to watch Old Man Olioson and the Pimp Bod and Comet the Enso Dog before he got, popular. Then Andy went off and did his own show, and Max went off with Bruce Springsteen. I mean, I love this show, but the guy dropped the ball big time, and people need to stop applauding that because those are not things you need to admire in somebody. Because if you start admiring those things in people as being noble and honest and upright, then you're going to start practicing them. And Lord knows if you practice those in real life, you're going to fail. You're going to fail. Nobody quits their job in the real world and people applaud them. Somebody tell you to come, your boss tell you to come in a half an hour earlier, later, and you don't, you get fired and everybody look at you as being an idiot. So I'm not saying you should calling Conan O'Brien an idiot. But if you was an employer, would you take a guy who you took a chance on and it didn't work out, and when you went back to him and said, hey, we need you to move so we can do this, would you take a chance on him? I mean, put it aside that you like Conan O'Brien, you think he's funny. Let's talk about money right now. You're a network. You're getting killed in the ratings. And the guy that you gave a chance just gave you his ass to kiss. And you're another networking, would you think about picking this guy up? Because you might think, well, damn, if times get hard, is this dude going to give us his ass to kiss? That's why I'm so disappointed in the dude, man. I don't know, man. But then again, I could be 100% wrong. Kobe Bryant had the same problem when Shaq left. He was losing championships. He was not making the playoffs. He was the man. It was his team. But it took him around 5 or 6 years to win another NBA trophy. It was going to take Conan O'Brien years to gain the audience. It was going to take him time. He was supposed to struggle. And all of that. Get his show pushed back a half an hour. All of these things. But he should have stuck in there, man. He should have stuck in there. Now he has to compete with Jay Leno, David Letterman, and Jimmy Kimmel's getting strong. I don't know. I think he made a huge mistake, but time will tell. I wish him all the best. I just hope he don't make no more stupid decisions of not coming to work because your employer told you to come in a half an hour later. That's stupidity.
She's something that I highly respect, okay? Someone who actually says they're going to do something and they follow through with it. It's not easy to walk away from the Tonight Show. I mean, what's the real big difference? It's a half-hour difference, right? Mm-hmm. But he wasn't going to stand for that. He was not